It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this third quarter. This taken in at the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Marino's incompletion on first down leads to 2nd and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Marino. And this one is incomplete.
What we've seen so far in this game, they are not going to allow a big shot over the top. You can have whatever you want underneath. They'll give you that, but they're not going to let you beat them deep.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Pulled in at the 24. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 62 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. He will go out right near the 35-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Now a play fake here on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
2nd and 10. They'll go option to the short side. Finding room to the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now a handoff here to his running back. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So crisis averted, but now facing 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
There have not been a lot of great moments for this defense throughout this game. Finally, they have one they can hang their hat on. A nice stop there.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. And his kick is indeed good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. So 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. And Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll keep it on the ground. Floyd, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They'll throw on first down with Marino. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They'll contain him to just 4, second down.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
Now a second down and 6. They'll set up to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Now a give right side. It's Floyd. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Second down and 7. They'll set up a throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They'll try and run for it. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. They only needed about 4 or 5 inches there, relied on the big guys up front, and got it done.
Yeah, this is the time to just go ahead and hit it straight ahead. No juking, right? No movement in the backfield. Take the ball and go. As I heard a coach tell a player a long time ago, save your dancing for the club, son. Just get up into that line of scrimmage.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Extra defensive backs in the ball game here on 3rd and 6. Back to throw here. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll try and throw forward with Marino. Looking for the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Jets are going to get the football back. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half. It gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now they try the right side here. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. The Jets on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd down and 12. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Marino's incompletion on 1st down leads to 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
First down, Marino. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
2nd and 12. Again, he'll drop to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Marino's incompletion on 1st down leads to 2nd and 10. Here we go again with Marino. He finds his man, complete. It's Yates. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 18.
Not only was it a double move route, it was the dreaded post corner for any defensive back because you think that he's going all the way to the post in a deep route, and then he breaks it off to the corner. That's hard to flip your hips and get there.
Well, he didn't flip him in time. Big play. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the Jets sweep. And he'll get this down only to the 18. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9. Now a give right side. It's Floyd. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Jets are going to get the football back. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Second down, here's an option right. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
And they'll run the option on third and short yardage.
That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. And a loss of 3 to bring up fourth.
Well, so much for that possession.
Yeah, I think he tried to do a little too much there, partner. He tried to keep it himself. Ended up getting buried in the backfield, and that brings up fourth down.
Here's the Jets punter now as he's on to kick it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again.
Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest.
They'll run on 1st down. Floyd, and he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
So out now come the Jets. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And to give this time to the tailback. Space to run past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jets are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point forthcoming. And that stretches the legs on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense back out, getting set for this next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Marino sets up. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. That throw by Marino incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Marino. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Floyd. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. On 1st and 10, it's Marino. And that one drops to the ground, incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds, 19 left. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
2nd and 10 now. Marino eluding the pressure right. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Out of the gun, it's Marino. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.